So I was reading an interview with a former CMO of Coca-Cola and then Subway. And a quote struck me as to the importance of the power of brand and how I think the future of growth for any organization, company, is the power of brand. And the quote was, at Subway, we knew that if overnight every single Subway store burned down to the ground, we'd still be in business because we had a strong brand. And I was struck by that because think about it, like there is no operational budget or a price on a brand. There is a price on property, there's a price on assets, there's a price on, all the operational things, but what is the price on a brand? And how does brand trust evolve? Because I just read a Havas report that said the majority of people around the world wouldn't care if 77% of all brands disappeared. Much like if every single Subway store was burned down to the ground overnight. People would not care if the majority of brands, 80% of brands, would disappear. That gives me a light bulb moment that says, man, brands have very little relevancy. And relevancy is going to be the major competitive battleground. So how do you grow a brand? Well, in the next 20 years, 25 years, in my opinion, there's only really two ways. The first is brand purpose and the other is brand experience. And both ladder up to the notion of brand trust. Brand purpose is basically anthropomorphizing the brand to meet the values of its audience and to show its relevancy by actually caring and giving a shit about its audience lives, about what the audience cares about, and becoming an active player in helping its audience in their daily lives. Brand trust also occurs from brand experience, an experiential approach to brand trust where people's interactions, whether it's online, in store, in the world, in conversation, is the same. It doesn't willy-nilly kind of flow in the wind, so to speak. That people can actually create a physical engagement and interaction with a brand and create experiences. So there's no dead ends to the brand experience, that the experience for a brand that I have online is the same as in store, is the same as at South by Southwest. So brand purpose and brand experience are the two major competitive battlegrounds, I think, in making sure that your brand isn't one of those 77% that no one cares about. So I urge you to really take a look at where in your organization is your brand experience being held? Who's accountable for that brand experience across all touch points? And where in your organization are you clearly defining and disseminating and living up to the standards of your brand purpose? Why do you exist? And does everyone know that? So ask yourselves these two questions, and if you can answer an affirmative, you're pretty much set up. But if you're having some doubts, I'd get ahead of those doubts. Talk soon.